Today, no Spartan dies.
Gerard Butler is a famous British actor who has gained worldwide fame thanks to his Hollywood roles. There were ups and downs in his life, but each time he reached new heights, becoming a fan favorite. We will tell you about this charismatic Scot in this video. Gerard Butler, how the main Spartan of Hollywood lives and how he spends his millions. Gerard James Butler was born on November 13, 1969 in the Scottish city of Paisley and became the youngest of 3 children of Margaret and Edward Butler. He has a brother Brian and a sister Lynn. His family is of Irish origin and professed Catholicism. When Gerard was 6 months old, the Butlers moved to Montreal, one of Canada's largest cities, where Edward, who worked for a bookmaker company, dreamed of starting his own business. However, all his attempts ended unsuccessfully, and the man lashed out at his family in frustration. As a result, in 1971, Margaret left her husband, returned to Scotland with her children, and soon remarried. Stepfather Alex Cole tried to become a father to the children because Gerard saw his biological dad again only at the age of 16. He called his son and made an appointment at a restaurant in Glasgow, after which Butler Jr. sobbed for several hours. Despite the separation, father and son managed to mend their relationship. As a child, Gerard became interested in martial arts, adored karate, and showed good athletic results. Another hobby of his was cinema, as the family lived next to the movie theater and he often visited it. At 12, the future Hollywood star was accepted into the Scottish Youth Theatre, played in various performances, and even persuaded his family to take him to auditions. He went to 2 of them but never got the job. It is worth noting that our hero's mother wasn't thrilled with her son's passion, considering acting to be a waste of time. In high school, Gerard was a head boy and showed good academic results. This allowed him to get a scholarship to the University of Glasgow School of Law, much to his mother's happiness. Butler was also noted for his success as a student, becoming the president of the university's Law Society. He got the position due to his sociable nature and excellent social skills. The young man also became a singer in the rock band Speed. Everything changed when Gerard's father was diagnosed with rapidly progressing cancer. It was a big blow for the 22-year-old Butler. He rushed to Canada to spend the last few weeks with his dad, and immediately after the funeral, he returned to Scotland, but now as a different person. As the actor admitted, he had gone from a 16-year-old who couldn't wait to grasp life to a 22-year-old who didn't care if he died in his sleep. Before his senior year, Butler took a sabbatical and spent a year in California. There, he traveled a lot, working part-time wherever he had to, and drank excessively. Once, he was even arrested for violating public order while intoxicated. Gerard did finish his degree and got a job as a trainee lawyer at an Edinburgh law firm, but stable work in the office didn't bring him any joy at all. So, after seeing the theoretical adaptation of Irvine Welsh's famous novel Trainspotting, he finally confirmed his desire to become an actor. At the same time, Butler continued to lead a life of debauchery and often skipped work. A week before the end of his probation period, he was fired, and at the age of 25, he moved to London, seeking his dream of fame. At first, he couldn't get a single role, so he worked part-time as a waiter, then as a telemarketer or a seller at fairs. He managed to advance his career thanks to a successful meeting with an old friend from the Scottish Youth Theatre, who at the time worked as a casting director at the Mermaid Theatre. An affair began between the young people, and the girl made Gerard her assistant. She also brought Butler to audition for a production of Shakespeare's tragedy Coriolanus. The young actor impressed the director with his energy, and he, without hesitation, invited the newcomer to the troupe to take on the role of the commander Attius Tullius. Gerard Butler's debut in cinema took place in 1997 when he played a small role in the historical drama Mrs. Brown.
Come on, man. I'm telling you what you already know.
You know nothing about her.
When are you going to see it, John? She doesn't give a damn about you.
On the set, the actor got hypothermia while swimming in icy water, but working in this film earned him a certificate for bravery from the Scottish authorities. While filming in nature, Gerard heard cries for help. Running towards the sound, he went to the riverbank and saw a drowning boy. Without hesitation, Butler rushed into the water and pulled the child out. Meanwhile, the actor didn't consider himself a hero. In an interview, he revealed that he acted on pure adrenaline, and after pulling the boy out, he lost all his strength at once and barely managed to carry the victim home. Soon, the actor starred in such Hollywood projects as Tomorrow Never Dies about Agent 007, the adventure film Tale of the Mummy, the films Fast Food, The Cherry Orchard, and One More Kiss, as well as the TV series The Young Person's Guide to Becoming a Rock Star, An Unsuitable Job for a Woman, and Lucy Sullivan is Getting Married. By 2000, Butler had already moved to Los Angeles, where he received roles in the films Harrison's Flowers and Dracula 2000. This was followed by the series Attila and The Jury, as well as the films Jewel of the Sahara, Shooters, Reign of Fire, Timeline, and Lara Croft Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, starring Angelina Jolie.
I could be an awfully good sport.
Good, you got that out of your system. Now listen, you mean just one thing to me. You call me when you got $5,000.
Immediately, rumors about the two actors dating appeared, which, although not confirmed, added to Butler's reputation in Hollywood. Gerard's girlfriend, British TV presenter Josie D'Arby, sometimes visited him on set, as their relationship had begun before he moved overseas. It's funny that the paparazzi often confused her with Naomi Campbell. The long-distance relationship, however, didn't last long, so Butler had a short-term affair with Ukrainian actress Julia Mayarchik, whom he met during an Italian film festival. In the States, the charismatic Scot was much sought after, so he was approved to the drama Dear Frankie in 2004, even without an audition.
Who gave you the right to come in here and behave like this?
You did. He's waited all this time. You've waited all this time.
During the first meeting with Gerard, the director of the project immediately had realized that he was perfect for the role of the stranger. Then came another offer. After seeing Butler in the movie Dracula 2000, the famous blockbuster director Joel Schumacher invited him to play the role of the mysterious ghost in the film adaptation The Phantom of the Opera.
Now, let it be war upon you both.
According to the script, the character had only 14 lines and the rest was singing. Therefore, the actor, who only had experience in an amateur group, started vocal training and eventually performed all the solo songs himself. Applying all of the Phantom's makeup took about 4 hours every day. In 2005, Butler, who had already proven himself in Hollywood, appeared in the movies The Game of Their Lives and Beowulf and Grendel. But Zack Snyder's historical blockbuster 300, about the feat of the Spartan soldiers in the Greco-Persian Wars, became a resounding success for him.
You bring the crowns and heads of conquered kings to my city steps. You insult my queen. You threaten my people with slavery and death.
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
For his role as King Leonid, Gerard spent 6 months gaining muscle mass by working hard at the gym and mastered the art of sword fighting. Later, the actor would call it his personal fitness hell, especially since he had to give up cigarettes during filming. And by the way, at different times, Gerard tried all the known methods of combating smoking: nicotine patches, hypnosis, laser coding, and others. Fatigue from training was so strong that doctors recommended Butler rest for 8 months, but it was worth it. The legendary battle scene was so emotional because of fatigue, he couldn't keep his emotions in check and improvised a lot. The legendary cry, "This is Sparta!" was improvised as well, and it became an internet meme.
This is Sparta!
Gerard repeated his cry in 2020 during the Olympic torch relay, having flown to Sparta just for this. Moreover, there were so many people in the city who wanted to see their favorite actor that the authorities decided to suspend the relay for safety reasons. At that time, there were persistent rumors in the press about Butler's relationship with actress Rosario Dawson, but it was never confirmed. But the paparazzi caught the actor kissing model Shanna Moakler when the couple was enjoying a fall night walk. Meanwhile, the actor added several movies to his filmography, like Guilty Hearts, Butterfly on a Wheel, and the melodrama P.S. I Love You in 2007. The latter was warmly received by the audience. By the way, Gerard had to stop filming for a week because he accidentally hit colleague Hilary Swank with suspenders while working on a love scene. The actress had to get 4 stitches on her head. Soon, the audience saw Gerard Butler in the fantasy Nim's Island and Guy Ritchie's crime comedy Rock'n'Rolla.
We could give them a black eye. Might help. Just a black eye. Nothing more.
Very well, Mrs. Baxter. A black eye is then.
This role is called one of the brightest in the actor's career, and he got it thanks to the same 300. Ritchie was so impressed with King Leonid's ads that he decided to definitely invite him to the new project. Ironically, in Rock and Rolla, Gerard didn't have a single shirtless scene. At that time, TV presenters, models, and actresses would end up on the long list of Butler's love affairs. For example, in 2008, they shipped him with the nice girl Jennifer Aniston, and in 2009 with the troublemaker Lindsay Lohan. Diversity was inherent in the actor's filmography as well. He looked equally organically both in the fantastic thriller Gamer and the romantic comedy The Ugly Truth. The audience especially appreciated his role in the action drama Law Abiding Citizen, released in 2009.
I would tread carefully, Mr. Sheldon.
Well, how carefully should I tread? Because apparently I just killed 2 people. And you were about to let me walk right out that door. How misguided are you?
Butler perfectly embodied the image of a cynical avenger for the death of his relatives, although originally he was supposed to play the prosecutor. He and Jamie Foxx decided to switch roles. By the way, this film was produced by Butler's company as well as most of his next projects. In 2010, Butler co-starred with Jennifer Aniston in the action comedy Bounty Hunter, and in his private life, he met a French TV journalist, Laurie Kalewa. Their relationship didn't last long, because in one of the interviews, the woman claimed she wasn't ready to sacrifice her career for the sake of a Hollywood star. Soon, Gerard got together with Serbian model Martina Rake. In the same 2010, our hero voiced a cartoon character in How to Train Your Dragon. The following year, he played a role already familiar to him from his theater days in the film Coriolanus and appeared in the action movie Machine Gun Preacher. In 2011, Gerard announced he was recording a music album, but it was never released. Yet films with his participation were consistently coming out. Among them are the rom-com Playing for Keeps, the anthology comedy movie 43, the sports drama Chasing Mavericks, and the action movie Olympus Has Fallen.
My advice, save the last bullet for yourself. Because if you don't, I'm gonna stick my knife through your brain. But don't worry, I'm gonna leak the photos of your body to the press. Because I know you like that kind of shit.
Moreover, in the last 2, Butler was injured. In Chasing Mavericks, a powerful wave hit the actor, but he had only minor injuries. And Olympus Has Fallen, he broke 2 vertebrae in the cervical region and did not realize it until he had an MRI. A large number of accidents on the set forced Gerard to take painkillers regularly, and he became addicted to them. So in February 2012, Butler went to a rehab center and since then hasn't consumed alcohol or drugs. The film Olympus Has Fallen brought the actor together with the Italian model Maddalena Genia. He even walked the Oscar red carpet with her, but the relationship didn't last long. Another one of Gerard's lovers was model Brandi Glanville. There was a funny episode with her. When the woman revealed her relationship with the star in an interview a few years later and the paparazzi turned to Butler for comments, he sarcastically replied, "Who?" Later it turned out that the actor simply didn't know the last name of his ex and then gave Brandi an apology. He also expressed disapproval that she told everyone about their relationship. Butler settled down a bit in 2014 when he started dating interior designer Morgan Brown. However, this relationship was far from simple. The couple has already announced their breakup many times, but each time they came back together after a while. Their last reunion happened in 2021, and since then, little is known about Gerard's private life. The actor continued to delight moviegoers by voicing in the sequel of How to Train Your Dragon and starring in the continuation of Olympus Has Fallen, the action thriller London Has Fallen in 2016. As well as the drama of Family Man, at the same time, Gerard played in the fantastic blockbuster Gods of Egypt.
Big day for the family. I, Set, shall be your one true king. King of all Egypt!
The actor admitted that as soon as he read the word God in the script next to his character, he immediately realized that he would have to work on his body and begin training. After working in the disaster film Geostorm, the actor began filming in the action movie Den of Thieves. In it, Butler played the head of an elite Los Angeles police unit nicknamed Big Nick. For the role, he gained almost 35 pounds. Preparing for his next project, the film Hunter Killer, Gerard went to the Pearl Harbor military base, where he spent several days aboard the Houston submarine. Soon, several other movies with Gerard came out, like the thriller The Vanishing, the third part of How to Train Your Dragon, and the action films Angel Has Fallen, Greenland, Cop Shop, and Last Seen Alive. Today, Butler is continuing his creative career as an actor and producer. In January 2023, the premiere of the thriller Plane took place, where he played the lead role. His new film, Kandahar, will be released soon, as well as the animated film, Naya, Legend of the Golden Dolphin. The shooting of the action movie Den of Thieves 2, Pantera, is underway, but the fans were delighted to hear news about the sequel of Law-Abiding Citizen. In Hollywood, Butler has a reputation as one of the nicest guys there, as he's always finding time to chat with fans and hang out with the crew members. By the way, the actor prefers to be called Jerry in private, since he doesn't like the way Americans pronounce the name Gerard. The Hollywood star's fortune is estimated at $80 million. In the 2000s, Butler became a co-owner of the Korean barbecue restaurant Shin BBQ in Los Angeles. Starting 2009, his standard fee had been $8 million, and in recent years it increased to $15 to $20 million. In addition to a fixed salary, Butler receives a percentage of profits, and his production company gets bonuses after a certain threshold of the box office. It became a reason that the actor filed a lawsuit in 2021 against the producer of the film Olympus Has Fallen. Gerard claimed that the producer had underestimated the profit by tens of millions of dollars and hadn't reported the $8 million that was transferred by his own supervisor. Gerard is happy to spend the money he earns on his favorite animals. He has a pug Lolita, whom he jokingly calls his only true love. One time, the actor paid $3,000 for the treatment of a couple's dog, whom he met in line at the vet. Since 2010, Butler has been a member of a charitable organization that finances school nutrition programs in poor countries, and also participates in various fundraising events, concerts, soccer matches, and others. By the way, Gerard loves soccer very much and is a passionate fan of the Celtics from Glasgow. Over the years of his successful film career, Gerard Butler has accumulated a large portfolio of advertising projects. He was the face of a line of cosmetic products for men by L'Oreal, perfume brand Hugo Boss, Swiss watch brand Festina, and Ford Cars. He now represents the brand of workwear U-Power and clothing brand Olymp. Despite his commitment to a sober lifestyle, Gerard even promoted Windhoek beer. However, their commercial, in which the foamy drink was offered to real men such as Butler, was criticized for reinforcing gender stereotypes. In South Africa, it was even banned for being unacceptable. Gerard has properties in different countries, so in the Chelsea district of New York, his loft has an area of 3,300 square feet and occupies 2 floors. Gerard bought this apartment in 2004 for $2.57 million and turned them into bohemian housing with Baroque elements, to match King Leonid himself or the Phantom of the Opera. In 2017, Butler put the lot up for sale for about $6 million, but never found a buyer. In 2008, the actor bought a 3-story residence with an area of almost 4,520 square feet in the Los Angeles area of Los Feliz for $3.25 million and rented it out for $15,000 per month. Later, the rental rate rose to $17,500, and in 2016, Butler estimated the property at $4.4 million. In 2015, the actor bought a 3-bedroom house with a balcony in Glasgow, spending $720,000 on it. He bought another mansion in Malibu for $6.45 million, but after the fires in California, he had to rebuild almost from scratch. One of the famous actor's cars burned down in those fires. It is known that Butler's favorite car for everyday trips is a Range Rover Vogue SUV, and for vacations, he uses a white Mercedes-Benz SL 550 convertible. This small sports car cost Gerard about $60,000. Some sources claim that he also owns a Bentley car, but there is no photo confirmation of this. And which Gerard Butler movie do you like best? If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything interesting.